I mean, I think the only way that we can really realistically start off this episode is probably quoting the funniest line from the biggest Joe character in the film.
Oh, stay on the top of it?
No?
No? I thought that was pretty funny.
It was funny, but, I mean, Alan Cumming.
Yeah.
I am invincible!
Oh, that.
I don't know why. It just never fails to get a laugh out of me.
Oh, man. You sit on it, but you can't take it with you. Chair.
I mean, you can't take a chair with you, but... I'm reading too much, and we're reading too much into this.
You can take a chair with you.
Yes!
Yep.
So it doesn't make sense, Boris!
No, really doesn't, Boris. Boris!
Just... Future Donald, just play the intro.
Goldeneye.
Goldeneye. God, Tina Turner's the fucking... I love this. I love that theme so much.
Oh, man, yeah. She's simply the best.
I don't know what...
Better than all the rest. She's better than anyone I've ever met.
Dang. You have cut me to the quick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. I would rather be dead.
Wow.
Okay,
So, welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the General Geekery Podcast. This is, of course, the podcast where we love to geek out about all that we love to geek out about with no remorse.
No regrets.
And with all of the enthusiasm in the world.
Indeed.
We're back after a week-long hiatus, and we are continuing James Bond Month.
Woo!
As always, I am your resident coffee ninja by day, actor, gamer, streamer by night. I am Donald Kaczynski, and joining me as always, she is the dice slinger extraordinaire, artiste magnificent, and our resident video game inept. She is the one and only Hannah Kubiak.
Hello. I am tired.
Fair enough.
We don't usually record in the evenings.
Yeah, we usually don't record in the evenings. This is a little unorthodox for us, but we're hanging in there.
Yep.
So we left off in our previous two episodes of Bond Month. We covered two starts to respective eras. We started off with Dr. No from the Sean Connery era, which basically started off the entire franchise. And then we covered Casino Royale, my personal favorite Bond film, from Daniel Craig's era, which was basically a soft reboot of the franchise and an adaptation of the original James Bond novel.
Right. And today we're going to be talking about another new Bond. This was his first foray as Bond as well. We're talking about the 17th Bond movie made in 1995, Goldeneye.
Goldeneye! No, wait, that's not the harmony that Tina Turner uses. Damn!
I don't know. I don't think even I could hit that.
Fair enough.
So the name of the movie, Goldeneye, is a tip of the hat to Ian Fleming, whose estate in Jamaica was called Goldeneye. And Fleming was also involved in Operation Goldeneye during his time as a lieutenant commander in British Naval Intelligence.
Okay, that part I actually did forget.
Yeah? Well, good thing I'm here to tell you about naval intelligence. There's gotta be a pun in there somewhere.
Somewhere.
It's like, oh yes, I work in naval intelligence. Do you now?
Mm.
And is there much intelligence? No, not really. I mean, that's why they let me work here in naval intelligence. Especially British naval intelligence. I mean, you find some lint every once in a while, but that's about it.
Oh, yeah, ain't that the truth?
Anyway, it's time to shoot that pun in the head. The cast included Pierce Brosnan. This was his first Bond film. And
it was originally supposed to be Timothy Dalton. This was originally supposed to be the third Dalton film.
Really? Oh, okay. But he stepped down.
Yeah, he stepped down. There was... The 17th Bond film, it had a much different... it was going to be something much different than GoldenEye, and was in development hell for 6 years.
Oh my gosh.
It was the longest drought between one Bond film to the next. in between 1989's License to Kill and then Goldeneye, which was released in 1995, until the time span difference between releases between Spectre and No Time to Die between 2015 and 2021.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Little fact for all you out there.
Yeah. But the... oh, gosh. While I read some other things, could you look up about the bungee jumping stunt? Like, who did that? Who was the stuntman who did that?
Yeah, I can definitely look that up.
I did a bunch of research once for one of my poorly paid writing jobs about can you die while bungee jumping? And one of the things that came up was that this was the longest bungee jump stunt in a movie to date when it was done. I don't know if they've done any even more fantastic bungee jumping stunts since then, but that is an actual stunt man jumping off of what was it? What was the dam that they did it on?
Okay, I found it. So the opening scene was a 220-meter bungee jump shot at Versaska Dam in Switzerland. It was supposed to, I think it was originally supposed to take place in USSR at the time because it was during the time of Cold War.
Yeah, Soviet chemical weapons facility.
And the jumper was an English stuntman named Wayne Michaels.
Oh,
he is the one who performed the bungee jump in at the beginning of Goldeneye.
Yeah, apparently, like when the so he did the jump, and they had one take or something, or it would be a huge ordeal to have to set it up and do it again. So they had one take, and because Bond like jumps down and then like at the very like extremity of the bungee cord fires this bolt from a pistol into the floor to sort of reel himself in on a cable. So the stuntman not only had to bungee jump off of this what was it called in Switzerland?
To jump off of the Versaska Dam.
Versaska Dam. Not only had to jump 220 meters.
Yep, 220 meters.
220 meters up the Versaska Dam.
Recorded as the as the highest bungee jump off of a fixed structure.
Right.
It was set as a record.
Not just in movies, just ever?
As a record, yes.
Holy shnikey. Okay, so that is so cool. And so the stuntman not only had to execute the longest bungee jump in recorded history off of the Versaska Dam, but also at the very, like right before the bungee cord started to, like, pull him back up, he had to get out this prop gun and point it down. And apparently the stuntman, like, when the bungee cord like went taut and started to pull him, he like lost consciousness for a second, but still managed somehow to get the gun out and point it, but like almost had to do it again, for the... I hope he was paid well. Like, man, what a thrill.
Oh, absolutely. So, I'm looking it up right now, and actually, the Brzaska Dam officially, as of today, is the second largest jump off a fixed structure in the world in terms of bungee jumping.
Oh, so there's been one that's longer since...
There is a higher structure that you can bungee jump off of, and that is the Macau Tower in China.
Oh, you know what? I think I watched a video of somebody doing that one. Yeah, that one's ridiculous.
It's around the tower stands 764 feet above ground.
Wow. And how? Just a quick question. How tall are the Cliffs of Moher?
The Cliffs of Moher?
Yeah, aren't they like 300 something feet?
From
the water.
I don't.
Because that's insane. I've been to the Cliffs of Moher and like looked straight down, and that's a dizzying height.
All right, hold on. Let me double check that.
Yeah.
Cliffs of Moher, right?
Moher, yeah.
Okay, from Ireland. So the elevation is at 155 meters, which is around 509 feet.
509 feet. Okay, yeah. Woo! Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I went to the Cliffs of Moher, people thought I was crazy because
This is in Ireland, by the way.
Yeah,
guys.
in Ireland. But we went to the edge, and my friend Bobby, I was like, hey, can you hold on to the back of my jacket? I want to look over. So I just kind of like leaned over the edge, and there's like a picture from like way back of just like me leaning over the Cliffs of Moher and him like holding onto my jacket, like, oh my gosh.
So you mean to tell me that you will actually do a stunt like that, and yet you hate roller coasters and theme parks?
It's mostly the aesthetic of a theme park that I don't like. Like, once I'm on a roller coaster, it doesn't bother me to be on a roller coaster. Like, the height of it and the speed and the moving around, that doesn't bother me. It's just, I don't know. I just always feel kind of tacky and icky when I'm in a theme park.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is based off of a conversation that we've had several times off mic. So.
Yep. Well, no, we talked about it pretty much every time we talk about Cowboy Bebop. We talk about my hatred for theme parks.
Oh yeah, you're right. Whenever we mentioned the LeFou episode.
LeFou, yep. It's probably one of the reasons why that is my favorite episode, because I just love to watch theme parks burn.
The bungee jump off of the dam is considered by many to be like one of the most iconic opening scenes in all of James Bond.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Because I mean, like in the first 30 seconds, like jump off of a dam. Mm-hmm. Bam.
And then isn't that also the same one where he goes off a hilltop on a bike and then he like free falls into
the plane.
Into the plane.
That was stupid.
That's that's like, oh man, and also, but I didn't mind because these like daredevil, impossible, just kind of like secret agent bullshit. I don't mind.
Right. So we've mentioned previously that the different eras of Bond, like the long tenure ones, like are stylized in like a different kind of way. Mm-hmm. Sean Connery had the gruff suaveness that came with his Bond across all of his movies. Daniel Craig, as we saw, there was like a gritty realness to a lot of his stunts. Pierce Brosnan was the action man. Right.
Yeah. Lots of stunts going on in those movies.
Sometimes they were some of the best stunts ever done in cinema up to that point.
Yeah.
Other times you look at it and I'm like, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
Looking at you glacier surfing from Die Another Day.
I haven't seen that one.
It's one of the worst Bond films of all time.
Goodness.
It's so bad.
Sometime. Yeah, I don't know what it's like, what stuff with Twitch is like, but I really want to just like watch bad movies and just talk about them because I think that's hilarious. Like, I wish that people could have watched these movies with us because that was really fun.
Oh my god, we were me and Hannah were watching like the last two films of like what we chose together. We were actually in person for these one because we had to do it separately because I was still partially sick at the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for the previous two?
Yeah, for the previous two. And we were watching together. Oh my god, we were joking around so much at so many different moments.
It was great. And for this one, we even had some bourbon.
I mean,
in honor of M, which we didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know, and this was the first film that Judi Dench portrayed the character M before she went on to go portray the same role in Daniel Craig's era.
Right. Yeah. We there were lots of firsts in this movie. Like as I said, this was Brosnan's first time as Bond. Judi Dench made her Bond debut as M, and she was the first woman to be cast in the role. This was the first Bond movie to be made. After the end of the Cold War and the dissolution of the Soviet Union. And it was also the first Bond movie to use CGI.
Yep, that's right. To quote M, I believe you're a misogynistic dinosaur, a relic of the Cold War.
Yep.
And which is kind of funny because one of her lines in Casino Royale had her say, Christ, I miss the Cold War.
Right, yeah. Yeah. You're like, oh, you miss it now, do you?
Also, black-haired Judi Dench. Like, dark-haired Judi Dench. Holy shit, that hits different.
When was that? Was that just in her youth?
That was in her... She had dark hair in Goldeneye. I'm usually used to seeing her with either, like, white or more silvery hair.
Was
it? It was more...
Okay, maybe... I guess it just didn't... It just didn't register with me. I was just like... I don't think I noticed her hair. I was just... I just love her expression of disdain.
Oh, it's
makes
the
me
best.
very happy.
It is absolutely the best.
But yeah, it was directed by Martin Campbell. Another first. This is the first Bond movie that didn't use story elements from one of Fleming's books.
See, darker hair, Judi Dench.
Oh, see, it still looks kind of silvery to me. I was imagining just like black hair, like mine, kind of.
Like it's still silvery, but at the same time, like it, it's darker than most of her other.
Not a shock of white, yeah. Also, Albert Broccoli did not produce this movie, but fear not, because another Broccoli, his daughter Barbara, took his place. So there was a Broccoli involved, lest you fear that the Broccoli was absent.
It was actually Broccoli's production company that it was a dispute between them and United Artists over the James Bond rights that resulted in like the 6-year hiatus between License to Kill and Goldeneye. Yeah,
see, I was doing some research and I was reading something and it was like something about funds and different production companies and a lawsuit, and I was like, boring! And I didn't read it, so I figured if it was important, you wouldn't mention it. Okay.
Also, another fun fact about this film, the director of this film...
Martin Campbell?
If I'm not mistaken, he also directed Casino Royale.
Oh. You know, yeah, we could look back and see if that happened.
Yep, right here, right on Wikipedia. Directed the James Bond films Goldeneye and Casino Royale. Considered two of the best films of each respective eras.
Well done, Martin Campbell.
Appreciate it.
Yep. You only direct Bond twice. Just, I don't know if that actually works. You only
direct Bond twice. Sorry, Nancy Sinatra.
Okay. I don't know what... Okay, hold on. 80. Oh, okay, was 86. Okay. Do you want to hear about the plot of Goldeneye?
Let's go!
I am ready. I had so much fun. I had so much fun writing these this morning because I never do anything ahead of time.
She texted me earlier on today, before recording. She's like, I have so much stuff written down, ready to go out. I'm like, fire away.
I have 4 pages of A4 for
the
two we're talking about today. Okay, so the movie begins in 1986. I have written, it's a typo. The movie begins in 19,865, but no, 1986.
I was about to say, were you watching Dune again?
Yes. How did you know? Always. Oh, yes.
So anyway, 1986.
I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings a total obliteration. I must not fear. Okay.
Fair enough.
The movie begins in 1986 with Bond and 006, Alec Trevelyan, which is a fantastic name, by the way.
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean. Or as I like to call him, Sheen Bean.
Or as I like to call him, the man who probably has it somewhere in his contract as a clause that 9 times out of 10 in almost any single acting role he's in, he has to die in some way, shape, or form, and it has to be in the most horrific way possible.
Right, yeah,
Let's see. Head cut off in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he was drawn and quartered in something, but I don't know what it was. All I saw was this compilation of all of Sean Bean's deaths in different movies, and the one that struck me the most was him being drawn and quartered.
When the 2 horses are going in opposite directions and...
Yes.
Oh,
yes, they tie your arms and legs to I think 4 different animals.
Yep.
4 different horses, send them opposite ways. That's just awful. Probably really fun to film though.
Probably, yeah. The special effects department must have had a field day on that.
Yep. There's probably just so many different models, real lifelike looking models of Sean Bean as a corpse. There's gotta be. I wonder if there's if someone could curate a museum of all of Sean Bean's lifelike corpse models, like the one in the boat from the Lord of the Rings, and then the head that they used in Game of Thrones. If they did.
Oh my God, yes.
All his different strewn body parts from whatever that movie was, and
there's a dedicated community in trying to figure out every single movie that Sean Bean is in where he has not died.
Yeah. Didn't he also, in The Island, wasn't he harpooned and then thrown off of this bridge and he was suspended there by the harpoon?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. That was a gruesome one.
He has some of the most horrific death credits in all of cinema.
Yeah.
I think the only one that maybe has like more horrific deaths than him is maybe John Hurt.
John Hurt. Oh, he did the alien one.
Chest burster.
Yep, that one's pretty epic. I don't think, as far as the sheer volume of horrific deaths, I think Sean Bean has it.
Probably, yeah.
But, Alec Trevelyan, 006, starts with them on a mission in a Soviet...
Sorry, sirens in the background.
Okay, again, I thought that was just a person going, woo! I'm like, wow, you live in a wild neighborhood, Donald.
Indeed.
It's Friday night. Woo!
So,
I know, I agree. Someone's in danger. I shouldn't be laughing.
It's okay. So, Alex Trevelyan 006.
Yes, they are on a mission in a Soviet chemical weapons facility. During the operation, Trevelyan is killed by the colonel in charge of the facility, Arkady Grigorovich Orumov.
Yes, Orumov.
For
England, James!
Yep, for England. And then, yeah, we'll get back to that, because that was a fun moment when I called that callback, definitely. Okay, so Orumov.
Yes, Orumov.
He
was like the people's golden choice, if that's how they like described him.
People's golden choice? What?
Like the favored person in government, like he was like a war hero or something like that.
Oh. You mean like in real life or just in the show?
In the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right here. Hero of the Soviet Union and commander of Russia's space division.
Okay. So he does that. Bond escapes by putting a cart full of explosive chemicals in front of himself and going towards the exit. Then it explodes. We joked around that
he's hiding behind giant soda cans.
We joked around that it was a brewery that catered to mountain giants. And as all the cans come falling out and stuff, it's like
3, 5, 4, fum. No get my casket of craft rum. I just came up with that on the spot.
Yeah. They're like, why did we agree to brew for giants? I don't know, Vladimir. Run, Sergei.
Run, Sergei. Oh, I'm dead.
Dmitri, no. What happened to Dmitri? He was crushed by craft rum. Okay, anyway, so that all happens. The place explodes. Bond leaves the way he came, a daring jump. In 1995, 9 years later.
A number of years later.
Sometime later.
That never gets old.
I love it. An ex-Soviet fighter pilot named Xenia Onatop.
On a what?
On a top.
On a what?
On a top of it.
Okay then.
On a top. Stay on a top of it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Xenia, which is just the most ridiculous name. Xenia on the top steals
played by Famke Janssen.
Yeah, steals a prototype EMP-proof attack helicopter. The same helicopter, coincidentally, shows up at a radar facility in Siberia. The facility is destroyed by an old Soviet-era EMP satellite called Goldeneye. Shortly after the EMP-proof helicopter is stolen. Coincidence? I think not. So, MI6 believes that the Janus?
Janus.
Let's call it Janus, because that's funny.
Yeah, they pronounced it Janus in the movie, so.
Janus. Go Bucks. MI6 believes that the Janus crime syndicate is responsible for the theft of the helicopter and the explosion at this radar facility in Siberia. Bond suspects that Orumov, the colonel who killed Trevelyan in 86, is involved, since only high-ranking military can access Goldeneye. Mm-hmm. So, Bond tracks down Onatop, that fighter pilot lady from before to get a meeting with the Giannis Syndicate.
Speaking of which, it should be noted straight up, Onatop, main hench person of the film, who loves to kill her victims by having sex with them and crushing their lungs between her thighs.
Does she have sex with them? Oh yeah, she assassinated that guy. Yeah, That's right.
And that Bond finds the corpse of in his cabin with a smile on his face as he was squeezed the air out of. I'm like,
he died happy, I guess.
Define happy.
Crazy bastard. Okay, so Bond tracks down Onatop to get a meeting with the Giannis Syndicate. He doesn't get much from her, but she does try to kill him with the sheer power of her thighs, and she enjoys it a lot more than she should. So Wikipedia describes her as a sadistic lust murderer who enjoys torturing her enemies by asphyxiating them between her thighs.
Accurate.
Yep. As a practitioner of jiu-jitsu, I believe in the power of the guard, but that's just insane.
She did. Hannah did mention that during the film.
One of the main things in jiu-jitsu is to get them into your guard, which means wrapped up like a spider.
Indeed.
You can get your legs around them and trap them so that they can't use their hips. So you have control of their hips.
So
and then you could roll them, pin them, put them in an arm lock, what have you.
Yep.
But we have not yet been taught how to asphyxiate.
Fair enough.
I'm looking forward to that lesson.
Please don't use it on me.
I know I won't.
Okay.
I don't think it's possible.
I was about to say, did you just say you know I will? Did I just hear that right?
What? No, I said no, I won't.
Okay, I thought I heard something else. I'm like, wait a minute, wait!
Also, that's just insane. And
Fair.
If I was going to asphyxiate you, I wouldn't use my thighs. I put you in a triangle choke hold and...
Good enough.
Yeah, okay. Anyway,
I'm scared now. So anyway, we get taken to
This is lovely lavender mint tea, by the way.
You're welcome.
Makes me feel so chill.
So we get taken to the head of Giannis, which,
Yeah.
You want to reveal who it was, Hannah?
Yes, I will. So Bond ends up being able to arrange a meeting with the Syndicate via a beardless Robbie Coltrane, which...
Thanks, Hagrid!
Yep, which it took us a couple scenes to figure out who he was.
Oh,
I was like, wait a minute.
You're like, was that Robbie Coltrane?
Like, his eyes. There's something about his eyes. There's supposed to be a lot more facial hair around here. I'm pretty sure.
And then when we found out, we were freaking out.
Oh my gosh! Yep, he also was talking with a Russian accent, so, you know.
True.
So he discovers, when he goes to meet with the Syndicate, that Trevelyan is alive and is the mastermind behind the theft of Goldeneye.
Back from the dead. No longer just an anonymous star on the memorial wall of MI6.
Yep, milking it for all he's got. Like a supervillain.
Oh, please, James, put it away. It's insulting to think that I haven't anticipated your every move. I can quote that entire scene by heart.
I know. So apparently Trevelyan is a native Russian whose parents were Lean's Cossacks?
Yes, Lean's Cossacks. Russians that sided with...
the Allies, right?
Hold on.
I just know that they were repatriated to the Soviets after World War II or something.
Yes. Hold on. Let's see. You keep talking. I'll find out more about the Leon's Cossacks.
So, his parents were killed by the Soviets after the British turned them back over to repatriated them to the Soviets. And he wants revenge against Britain for his parents' death. He survived the operation at the chemical plant in 86 with a huge burn scar on half of his face. Giannis, the two-faced god. Get it?
Yep,
Get it?
Come to life. It wasn't God that gave me this face, it was you. But setting the timers for 3 minutes instead of 6. Am I supposed to feel sorry for you?
It's like, well, to be fair... I saw you get shot in the head, so I didn't think it would matter to you anymore. All right, so like most supervillains, Trevelyan ties Bond up in a vehicle set to explode, but he doesn't stick around to make sure Bond actually dies. Rookie mistake.
As one is wont to do.
Yep. A couple of close shaves later, Bond has escaped with a new lady friend, Natalia, who survived the attack on the radar facility that got destroyed by that EMP. He learns that there's a second Goldeneye satellite in Cuba and concludes that Trevelyan is headed there. In Cuba, Bond and Natalia are attacked by Onatop, who tries to kill Bond in her usual, unique, twisted, and strangely aroused manner. She ends up getting killed in the fork of a tree, which is probably how she would have wanted to go. Crushed between two massive limbs, just as she dispatched so many poor bastards.
Okay, I found it. So,
Good. All
right. So, the Cossacks were ethnic Russian and Ukrainians who were against the Soviet Union and were handed over by British and American forces to the Soviet Union after the conclusion of the Second World War, because
But why?
Like reparations of war or something like that. Because Trevelyan mentioned in there, whereas your parents had the luxury of dying in a climbing accident, mine survived the British betrayals and Stalin's execution squads.
Right. Yes.
So, yeah. Dang.
Yeah. Yeah, so after they dispatch Onatop, they end up going to...
She always did enjoy a nice squeeze.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So it turns out that Trevelyan's big plan is to destroy London to eliminate all traces of a massive withdrawal from the Bank of England.
Yeah, they're hacking...
It's all about hacking and money.
Well, he's the head of a syndicate. He's got to pay his subordinates somehow.
Syndicate.
And in order to help them is the little weasel from...
programmer.
Yeah, a programmer from the Soviet Union that also Natalia Sinova worked at. Boris. Played by Alan Cumming.
Yep.
He is invincible!
Yep. Not quite. But yeah, this whole getting tons of money, no one knows it's gone, it kind of savors of Die Hard quite a lot, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that Trevelyan would also consider himself an exceptional thief. If he managed to get away with it.
Yeah, true.
So Bond and Natalia infiltrate the base, and they sabotage the satellite's programming. Boris, played by Alan Cumming, works feverishly to regain control, and he's such a sweaty person, that character. I'm pretty sure that he sweats more than Bond and Trevelyan combined, despite the fact that he's sitting at a desk while they're, monkeying around on top of this satellite dish trying to kill each other.
And he's just sitting there twiddling a pen in his hand. Thanks, Q. Which is a level 4 grenade.
Yeah. Very dangerous.
Right next to his Subway sandwich.
Yep.
Don't touch that. That's my lunch.
I like that line. That's probably one of my favorites. Don't touch that. Because he picks up the sandwich like he expects it to be some sort of gadget. Mm-hmm. Kind of reminds me of have you seen Muppets from Space?
Yes.
Do you remember when they go down into the basement with what's his name and Beaker? And then he's giving them all of the gadgets and stuff. And Fozzie picks up a tape dispenser and he's like, "Oh, what's this? A high-tech communication device?" He's like, "No, that's Scotch tape. Very handy if something tears." Oh. Scotch tape.
Oh my god.
Okay.
But yeah, also, shout out to Desmond Llewellyn as being Q from James Bond in 17 of those films.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
I love it. So yeah, Bond and Trevelyan, they both dangle below the antenna and they have their "You were my brother, Anakin" moment.
For England, James?
No. For me. Right before he knocks Trevelyan down to the satellite dish below, and Trevelyan's broken body is crushed by falling debris.
He survived the fall, but he didn't survive the crushing debris.
Yeah, it's probably a merciful death to have been crushed by the debris, because his legs were pretty twisted.
Well, here's the question: Who got the worst death out of the three? Xenia Onatop, Alex Trevelyan, or Boris?
Oh man, I feel like. Honestly, I feel like Onatop.
Yeah, because by the looks of it, she didn't die right away.
No, she was basically almost pulled apart by that cable attaching her to the helicopter.
And in between the trees. She didn't die, like, she was pulled a big away, and from what we saw in the film, it did not look like that she died upon impact, so there was a bit of a struggle there.
Yep, she was struggling. And, yeah.
And then Boris got, frozen alive.
Instantly frozen alive. I think he was fine.
Thank you, Liquid Nitrogen.
He still looked pretty happy when he got killed, so... He died happy. He died doing what he loved. Making a spectacle of himself.
Thanks, Alan Cumming.
All right, so this movie ends in a secluded part of the jungle. Things start to get steamy between Bond and Natalia, but they are interrupted by a friend from the CIA and about 50 Marines who seemed perfectly content to watch silently from camouflage, literally yards away from the amorous couple.
Not yards. That's like feet away.
There was one guy like as close as like you are to me, like a couple of feet, just there, like in camouflage underneath all of these reeds and grass and stuff.
I could just imagine them on like little mini radios. So how long do you think before they realize that we're here? Just shut up, Jim. Just let it happen.
Shut up, I want to watch.
And then all of a sudden, the guy that Bond met in Russia, who was also like a CIA agent, is like, "Hey there, Jimbo." He calls him Jimbo. Jimmy.
Oh, man.
I'm like, his name is James Bond. Damn it, he is not a Jimmy. Does this look like the face of a man who goes by Jimmy?
I mean, it's perfect, Jimbo.
This is not Jimmy Neutron. Damn it,
Jimmy Bond. But anyway, it's an HR nightmare.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Shouldn't,
Sorry.
Just like Sir Meliodas from the Seven Deadly Sins, do not let James Bond within 1,000 feet of a mildly attractive woman.
Then how do you explain the person that ran a field test with him after the opening credits of Goldeneye?
That lady?
She was expendable?
Yeah,
I was about to say.
I'm trying to remember.
Collateral damage?
Did she didn't die?
No, she didn't die, but I'm saying, like, her and James definitely did something.
When?
James Bond working his
He has his ways.
Charms.
He has his ways.
Indeed.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, that is Goldeneye. And
Goldeneye.
The impact of this movie is honestly pretty vast. This is considered by many to be like one of the most popular James Bond films of all time.
Yeah.
So much so that 2 years after its release, there was a Nintendo 64 video game that was released for it.
That's awesome.
GoldenEye 007. And that particular game is considered one of the top 5 best games for the Nintendo 64, and also the game that modernized like modern shooting games. It was really like the first shooting game to have like a 4-person multiplayer.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Like split screen and everything.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And they were going to make other Nintendo 64 games similar to that for like other James Bond films, but they never had the chance to do it. And since then, like, GoldenEye 007 for Nintendo 64 has been a cult classic. Mm-hmm. A copy of which I'm still trying to find to this day.
Didn't you find one recently? Or was that something else?
It was a different game. I found a different Nintendo game for a different system.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I go to a lot of used video game stores, ladies and gentlemen. Mm. A collector never stops collecting.
Nope, never.
And not only that, but like we said, like the director of GoldenEye went on to direct Casino Royale, and if I'm not mistaken, this film, several elements in this film were actually utilized later on in another Daniel Craig film, Skyfall. Oh. Like a former British intelligence agent as the main villain.
Right.
Right, Javier Bardem's Raul Silva.
Oh man!
Everything that entails, and yeah,
yeah.
GoldenEye is a fun film.
It was tons of fun to watch.
Like it is one of my. It was like the first James Bond film that I personally like watched or remember seeing scenes from.
Yeah, see, I don't remember which one I watched first, honestly.
The first one that I watched all the way through, unsurprisingly, was Goldfinger. Because,
Goldfinger, yeah, I've seen that one too.
Because everybody's like, if you want to watch James Bond, you have to start by watching Goldfinger, because that's the truly first original James Bond kind of film.
Yeah. Yeah, so that one, that's the one where the person gets sucked out the airplane window at the end, right?
Yep. Thanks, right. Goldfinger.
Yep. Yeah. I've seen that one. I've seen Goldeneye, or I had seen it before. Mm-hmm. I don't remember which one this is from, but I've seen the one with the one with the villain who straps him to a table with the crotch laser.
That's also Goldfinger.
Oh, okay.
That's also Goldfinger.
Okay.
You expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die!
Oh, man.
Also, another thing with Goldeneye, it is amazing, how many people in this cast we have seen in other, fantasy or comic book-centric, media. Mm-hmm. I mean, like we said, Sean Bean has been in both Game of Thrones and as Boromir from Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. Alan Cumming and Famke Janssen, who were both Xenia Onatopp and Boris, respectively, played roles in the X-Men, the first 3 X-Men movies by Fox.
Pierce Brosnan was in The Lightning Thief.
If I'm not mistaken, yes.
Wasn't he a centaur in Percy Jackson and The Lightning Thief?
Double checking. Oh my god, that's right. He was also in Mrs. Doubtfire. I forgot about that.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Was he the new guy that the mom starts dating?
I want to say yes.
Oh.
And for some reason he was also in Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
Oh no, here we go again. And then, like we said, Robbie Coltrane, who is Hagrid, was the KGB agent. And also the woman that he was talking to, the woman who was singing, that was Minnie Driver.
What?
That was Minnie Driver!
Oh my gosh. Minnie Driver. Or was it Baby Driver?
Bruh. I was so... I was reading
or was it Adam Driver?
I was reading through the cast list when I saw that. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, I didn't realize.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. And it started all from this, and then they went on to much bigger, not bigger franchises, but other successful kinds of franchises across different forms of fantasy and comic book and geekdom.
Yeah.
I found that very, very hilarious.
Yeah.
And also Alan Cumming was in Spy Kids, so,
That's right!
He is Floop!
Floop is a madman, help us, save us!
Floop is a madman, help us, save us!
See, that's the first movie that I saw him in, so now I always think of him as Floop.
He's also been in my opinion, one of the worst films ever made, in Son of the Mask.
Oh my gosh. I did not know that.
He played the trickster god Loki, and his father, who was Odin in that film, was played by the late Bob Hoskins.
Oh wow, I could see him. I could see him playing Loki in an alternate universe.
He
has that same sort of scrawny, pasty, but somehow weirdly charmingness about him. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alan Cumming is a very, very interesting individual. I mean,
yeah, he was Saturninus in that Titus movie that Julie Taymor directed.
Yep. Didn't he also... Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he also do a full-on one-man show of Macbeth?
I don't know.
Hold on, I remember this story from so long ago. Give me a second. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Here we go.
A quick Google search later.
Okay, so this is from New York Theater from back in 2013. Alan Cumming did a one-man show of Macbeth.
How?
It was set up in a psych ward.
Oh, that's fun! Oh my gosh!
I actually have a picture of it right here.
Oh, that looks so good! Oh my gosh! Oh, I would see that.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, he was Yep, like there were other actors like doing stuff in there as well, but he was basically a patient in a psych ward. I'm just seeing like production photos and stills of it from it. It looks so good.
That's cool. I love how crazy his haircut is. Like he did it himself with no mirror.
That would be
actually, yeah, kind of a la Kanan Jarrus in season 4 of Rebels.
Yep. There were only
like, who cut your hair? A blind man? Actually, yes.
Yep, there were only 3 cast members in the entire show.
Whoa.
That's insane. Strong wins today.
Oh man.
But yeah, Goldeneye had such a talented cast, and like it was really the first time like when we went through like Bond month that we recognized so many like actors that we have seen in so many different projects. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, we did recognize Mads Mikkelsen from Casino Royale.
Yeah, from Casino Royale. So and that was just like, holy crap.
Yeah. Who I later read that Mads Mikkelsen was in a movie, I don't remember what it was, where he was the person being tortured by being tied to a chair and hit on the balls with knotted rope. So he's like, yeah, you know,
parallels.
So he's like, yeah, you know, I've been on both sides of that scene, and I enjoyed doing the torturing better if I had to choose. Oh man.
We said that at the same time. Are you serious?
Yeah, like, bread.
That was just as good.
Oh man, yeah. Oh man.
So, yeah, Goldeneye is considered by a lot of people as one of like the best, probably the best film of like the Pierce Brosnan era.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And it defined the Brosnan era as a very stunt-heavy James Bond film, because you see a lot of different big stunts happen here. Like we mentioned the bungee jump and the diving scene at the beginning of the film. The high-speed chase immediately after the beginning credits. The tank chase through St. Petersburg.
That's right, yeah.
The fight the fight between him and Trevelyan at the end when they are on the antenna.
Yep.
And it would be like the new defining factor for like James Bond films that in the future that honestly we still kind of hold up to even through Daniel Craig's era.
Yeah, it sort of savors of that that chase scene at the beginning of Casino Royale where he's chasing that guy through the construction site and is like running along cranes and jumping from crane to crane and rooftop to rooftop and all that stuff.
The difference between them, though, is that with Brosnan, like it seemed like a very bigger than life kind of like feeling, whereas with Craig's film, there was like a little bit more of like intimate, like gritty realism to them outside of like the crane jumping stuff.
Some of that stuff I was still kind of like, that's impossible.
But I mean, it's still in the realm of what parkour was able to do for that.
Yeah, like secret agent shit, though.
Yeah, secret agent shit.
Agent shit. Secret agent shit.
But yeah, not Casino Royale. We're talking about Goldeneye, Donald. But yeah, Goldeneye has had a very lasting impact. It appears in a lot of top 10 films for many different fans, myself included, for James Bond movies.
Yeah. And
it's one that I always love revisiting. It's one of those Bond films that has a really good story and context underneath it with like the Leon's Cossack stuff. But you can turn your mind off, and even with minimal details, you can still get sucked in by the story.
Yeah, like I didn't really exactly understand what was going on, but I could kind of. It was easier for me to connect the dots than with, for example, Dr. No. Like Dr. No, I had no idea what was going on. I was like, okay, so he's breaking into this facility, Dr. No's. He's exploring this island. I forget why.
Yeah, Dr. No had a little bit of problem with like storyline beats, but again, that was like the first James Bond film that they made, so they hadn't quite figured out like how to really pace it
right
to the best of their ability. It's still a fun film, but they hadn't gotten to the point like where they could accurately properly pace everything to make everything as cohesive as possible.
Yeah.
Casino Royale, like, has really great story beats all throughout, but for some people, it can be kind of slow in the middle with, like, the poker game. I personally love that kind of storytelling in cinema.
Yeah, well, you don't want to have something being high action all the time. You gotta have, like moments of it, like... Because there's action and excitement, and then there's tension and suspense.
And there's a good mix of both in Goldeneye. Like, even though it leans a little bit more towards the action-oriented side with all the stunts, you get some small moments that are really good. Like the meeting scene between M and Bond before he heads out to Russia. The reveal that Trevelyan is Yanis. Probably one of my favorite scenes and probably, like, villain one-on-one exchanges between a villain and Bond himself.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's all just great stuff, and as always, looking fantastic. Like, there has never been a single James Bond film that, in terms of set piece wise, set design, and just overall cinematography, has looked boring.
Yeah, very interesting. In our next one, there was our next movie that we're going to be talking about. There was a lot of good set design in that. I'm so excited! Pretty awesome.
So, but we'll leave that for next time. If you guys want to watch Goldeneye, you guys can find it. You guys can find it on all sorts of streaming platforms. We watched it on Amazon Prime, but you can find it
All
on.
hail the Amazon overlords!
You actually get Goldeneye free with the Amazon Prime subscription. I found.
Oh.
On Prime Video. I was amazed at that. But, yeah, definitely go check out GoldenEye if you guys want to stream it on other platforms, or possibly buy the films for yourselves. I definitely recommend getting physical media over just digital media. That's mainly me. Like, you can look at my video game and, like, movie collection. Hannah knows it definitely for sure. And,
well, yeah. If I really like a movie, I will definitely buy, like, a physical copy of it.
Absolutely.
From, like, half-price books or something.
Always get the physical copies. Yeah. They're well worth it.
I don't trust the cloud.
Don't trust the cloud.
Clouds blow away.
That they do. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us for this episode of the General Geekery Podcast. Stay tuned next time where we will be wrapping up James Bond month with one from the Roger Moore era. This one I'm excited for.
So if you want more, tune in.
Make sure to tune in. You can find us on all podcast and audio platforms. We are on Spotify, Spreaker, and Apple Podcasts. If you guys want to listen to all the episodes right from the beginning, we have the full playlist available for you over on YouTube, the links of which are in the description of this episode. Also in the description of this episode, you can find links to our social media sites on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter for General Geekery, for myself, and as well as stuff that Hannah does as well. You guys can check us both out over on Twitch, on my personal Twitch channel, where I do my own streams, and me and Hannah do Inepticon for General Geekery, which we're going to be bringing back this upcoming week, if you guys are listening in. Can't wait! And we also appear over on Loaded Dice Adventures once or twice a week. Well, once for me, twice for Hannah.
Because I'm insane.
No, you're not. You're wonderful.
You know, just go with it.
Fair enough. Okay, because she's insane. Fair enough.
Yep. It's part of the humor.
Fair enough.
Don't deny that I'm insane.
Okay, fair enough. All right, but yeah, you guys can check us out all over there. And if you guys want to support the show and continue supporting us and doing what we do, please consider pledging either to our Patreon or buying us a cup of coffee over on Ko-fi, the links of which are also in the description of this episode.
For the Patreon, yeah, we gotta incentivize that a little bit more. Gotta have some extra content.
We've been slacking on that a little bit, but we're getting back on that. I do need to get back early access to the podcast. Like I've been slacking.
Oh yeah.
I've been slacking on the early access stuff.
Okay.
I want to create more stuff for you guys. No worries, we're gonna get back on that. We've been slacking. I mainly blame myself, but you guys have been very patient with us, and any sort of patronage that you guys send our way to help support us, we greatly appreciate it.
Let us know what would be worth a Patreon
Yes, please let us know.
You. Yeah.
And you guys can do that by joining our Discord. We have a Discord dedicated to everything for the General Geekery podcast, the General Geekery Guild. The link for the Discord is also in the Indeed. The link of which is also in the description of this episode, which we will also have on our social media sites as well. I need to update that, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So
update everything.
Update everything.
So find some way to let people access the archive.
The archive.
The archive of the early days.
Of General Geekery?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I have the YouTube playlist.
Oh! Access the archive on YouTube.
always with the Russian.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you guys so much. This has been episode 107 of the General Geekery podcast. For Hannah Kubiak, I'm Donald Kaczynski, and until next time, guys, make sure your bungee jumping lines are secure. Set the timers for 6 minutes, aka 3 minutes. Always have your vodka martini shaken, not stirred, and as always remember to keep your geek on.
Always.
Clink, clink.
Clink, clink.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Goldeneye!
In Soviet Russia, martini shake you.